Signed in Tennessee, and Danny Amendola departed for Miami. As for the additions, they added a pass rusher in Adrian Claiborne. They also signed former Bengals running back Jeremy Hill and also snagged tackle Matt Tobin. Whether Rob Gronkowski will retire remains unknown. Tom Brady and Gronk have lined up for 75 touchdowns together. Here's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, Tom. So conversations I've had with the players, and I've had a lot of them. Keep those private between myself and the player. I'll respect those coach to player conversations. I'm not going to speak for anybody else.
Do you have to make any, I guess, contingent moves at that position that you're envisioning? This is when I'm glad there's no cameras.
The slider coming in there on the outside corner. You know, I've had direct conversations with Tom. I mean, many times, obviously, through a long period of time. And, you know, I'll rely on those conversations that I have with him directly rather than something else. So, you know, Tom and I have always had a good line of communication. And all we do is talk directly with each other. I don't see that changing. So, I'll rely on those instead of anything else.
Overreaction Monday continues, and this may be my favorite. Bill Belichick is the absolute best at dealing with the media. Is that an overreaction? And I'm not trying to be funny.
Not an overreaction at all. He is the best. At the end of the day, coaches and GMs in their introductory press conferences talking about, we're going to have one voice. We're going to be one message, one voice. And then all of a sudden you have these splinters that take place within organizations, and people are saying different things, and they're putting each other in compromising positions. With the Patriots, does that ever happen?
It just doesn't.
They stay right on the rails because of how Bill Belichick handles the media. He never puts his players in a bad spot. After a game that they win, credit goes to the players. After a game that they lose, the first thing he says is, we've got to coach better next week. Bill Belichick is the absolute best of the media. Is he the most excitable, entertaining? Maybe not, but he's the best.
Depends on your perspective, but I would tend to agree with you that he's the best.
Not an overreaction. His consistency is absolutely key. And I think what he does better than anybody else is, like, if you ask him about last year right now, but we're not talking about last year. But then you didn't talk about it when it was going on. And if you're not going to talk about it now, then basically you just said you're not going to talk about it, and there's really nothing we can do about it.
And round and round we go. So it's like effective.
It's one of those things. And it's also why Teddy was not very good at Name That Belichick Tune when we used to play that. So, you know.
One of my favorites.
I went 4 for 4, man. You were looking at the logos on the hats, that's why.
Yeah, once again, not an overreaction. He follows his own rules. The rules that he puts on his players in meeting rooms about speak for yourself, manage expectations, don't fuel the hype. You know, those type of rules. The sign that going out the door, those signs. He lives by those. He expects his players to live by those, and they look at his examples in front of the media at the press conference. When he gets thrown that slider over the outside part of the plate like he's talking about, he's still on message, on point. It's always the same.
It's one thing to talk, but he walks the walk as well, and he's consistent in that regard. We don't have a ton of time, but I will ask you, would you be at all concerned about Rob Gronkowski not returning?
I am not.
Yeah.
I am not.
At this point, based off what I know, I am not as well.
Yep. Okay.
Rob was born to play football.
And
he'll play football.
I think he'll be back. But I do think that, listen, every year we get surprised by somebody who hangs it up early.
That's true as well. Things do.
But I do think he'll be back this year.
Change, yeah. All right. Seems like they do as well. We may be talking about his football future, but yeah.
There we go.
There we go. You know what? I'm just going to let this speak for itself. That's what I'm going to do. We'll be back. Wow.
Can we finish what we